It's our annual Thanksgiving episode, and as we often do, we're sending it out a few days before people pack up the car and go over the river and through the wood, or feign an illness, or cuss out a maggot, or however you celebrate. Couple things real quick. I'm telling you now that I had a wind chime tinkling louder than I realized in my office, and Pitney's dog was making a lot of scratching noises playing with a toy. And since I told you, I'm excused that it was too much work to get those sounds out of the background. So there. And big announcement in the second half. Like, huge. And we hope you're as excited as we are. Welcome to Pitney and Amelia's Bitchen Boutique.
We may be awful,
but we're right. Oh, okay, so are we ready? Are we done yet?
Oh, okay, yes, I'm ready.
Oh, lordy. Well, happy goddamn Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, it's really a fucked up time for me.
Fuck. I mean, is it good for anyone? Pardon me, everyone. I'm going to open a La Croix. So,
Yay.
Fizzy water.
I'm drinking coffee from last night.
Jesus.
Because
yeah.
I'm classy that way.
Well, and you're also, I mean, your whole schedule's upside down right now. We're both having kind of a weekend. Well, I mean, the whole country's having, a month, but
Oh yeah, we don't even need to go into the trauma of
everyone knows what their shit,
yes.
at what everyone is going through.
Yeah.
And if you're our listener, like we said last time, if you're our listener, you're not a Trumpy because fuck them.
Yeah.
They're not allowed.
Yeah, but it's just been my life right now is just one big fuckwad.
Oh God. The fact that we're even recording right now is kind of amazing. And if we can get through without interruption, without technical problems, without your damn phone ringing.
Yes.
If we if we can get through this, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's perfectly encapsulating the level of stress.
Oh yeah. 'Cause I'm on leave. I'm on family leave this week.
Yes.
Because my mother is in the hospital. And I don't need to go in detail, but everybody probably knows because I talk about her a lot. She's 91 and blah, blah, blah. She's in the hospital. It's not dire, but it's not good.
Oh, she needs to be in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. So I'm dealing with that and the endless phone calls from relatives and bridge friends. Ugh. And for some reason, there's social workers calling me, asking me all these questions about skilled nursing facilities and home health. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're not there. We're not at that point. What the fuck?
But it's just really freaking me out.
When my mother was in the hospital for the last time, we requested a palliative care person to come in, and she told us we were really jumping the gun, and that Mom was nowhere near hospice, she was nowhere near palliative care, but the next day, she was gone. So, It's like you can't... They either overdo or they underdo based on their staffing. I swear.
Yeah, I mean, unless they know something that they're not telling me.
Which they wouldn't.
But they would tell me.
Right. They would tell you. You would know. I think your hospital must just be really well staffed and they got their shit together. So they have a big long list of things that when someone that old comes in, they assume
that's exactly what it is.
They assume she can't live on her own. They assume she's in worse health than she is.
They're shocked that she can walk. They're shocked that she... I mean, I'm just like, she works in the yard every day. She still drives. Like, she's fine.
Yeah, she crashed physically because she wouldn't fucking sit down and rest that one day. she was feeling fine, so she decided to just clean the whole house or whatever. And it was like, sit down, lady.
Oh God! But anyway, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm worried, but anyway, we don't need to talk about it.
No, and I'm having endless technical difficulties on my end, but everything knocking.
Yes, you are.
Knocking wood. Knocking. Well, that's probably veneer, but knocking veneer. To just kind of keep things going. This is. Luckily, we're scrappy and creative, and we can come up with workarounds for these things.
Yes, it will be fine.
Good Lord. But anyway, every year at this time, when Thanksgiving is approaching, we do an episode called Thankful.
Thankful, yes.
And it's been different things over the years, depending on our mood and how our years went. And whether it's serious or silly or...
Yeah.
But it's kind of a little moment in time. There are some years I don't like to go back and listen to, because some years I thought I was, like 5 years ago, when I started the job that I have now, and I was in a very different mental and emotional place, and I didn't realize that it was very, very bad and damaging to me, and that like 2 months later I'd be a completely different person.
Well, that's because we're functioning, growing, spiritually aware adults. So,
That's right.
We change and we grow.
Yes, and we talk about it because we're honest, and if we want to make sure that people know that they're not the only crazy, confused, bumbling adults out there.
Yeah, and this year's different though because we both only have one thing that we're talking about, whereas we always had like lists before.
Yeah, this year
so that's different.
This year it was really hard. Well, I haven't been able to focus, so it was hard. I mean, I knew I absolutely wanted to talk about the thing I'm going to talk about, but then this other thing happened that we're going to go into that would have taken up a bunch of the show anyway, so we might not have had time for lists.
Yeah.
It kind of worked out fine. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, you guys.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It'll be great. I'm really excited about what Pitney has to talk about, what he's thankful for. Because it's terribly exciting. And I think some the listeners who've been with us for a long time are going to be so shocked and happy.
Because I'm talking about this? Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's showing me a device.
Is that exciting? Okay.
You don't think that's exciting?
I do think it's exciting. I think it's shocking beyond all belief, but yes, I think it's very exciting.
That's why it's exciting, because no one ever thought in a million goddamn years.
I am thankful for the existence of vaping.
Which seems like a douchey thing to say, but continue.
Yeah, because if people will remember, I don't remember what episode was. It was like a special episode, I think. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Where I had announced that I had quit smoking. And I had.
Oh, God, it might have been last year's Thankful.
And I had. And that lasted about a month. Mm-hmm. And then it was just full on. And I was like, oh, fuck. All right, here we go. I'm smoking. And that's just how it's going to be. But
you had quit because you had gotten that RSV. And you were so sick that you were like, I can't even imagine smoking again. Because you felt what like emphysema felt like. You felt what, oh my God, I'm dying. Like, this is not good.
But I'll be damned, I started up again. So anyway, the beginning of October, when I went to visit a friend in Portland, she was like, well, I quit smoking because I started vaping. And I was like, I have other friends that have started vaping.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody knows people who vape by now.
And I had tried an e-cigarette before, and it didn't work for me at all, and I hated it.
Oh, are they not the same thing?
They are, but I guess the one I had before, I didn't like it. It was just different. than this.
I mean, I could be just totally wrong. I just always assumed
I think
that
they are. I don't know.
I thought it was just they came up with a new name for what used to be.
Yeah, so, but my friend was like, okay, so we're going to buy this for you, and it's going to change everything. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm open for it. We'll see.
Oh
and
God.
I bought it, and I have not gone back in what it's been.
You said beginning of October, so it's almost 2 months.
Yeah. It's been, 6 weeks now?
Yeah.
And let's put it that when I came back from my trip, I bought a pack of cigarettes. I smoked like half of it, and I was like, oh, fuck this. It's so gross. It tastes gross. It stinks. It's dirty. And I've never gone back again. I have no desire, no urge, no nothing.
So you actually started vaping while you were in Portland?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why smoking was different to you, because you had stopped for a bit. Okay.
Yeah,
see, that fascinates me. That fascinates me.
I started doing this, and my friend smokes cloves, but only when she's out.
Well,
so we were out clubbing. We went to the witches' ball, etc.
Well, she's goth. She has to smoke cloves. It's expected.
Yes, and so I smoked a clove, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so gross." Because I remember.
Oh my god, it's 1988.
Yes, I remember smoking cloves in the 80s and hating it, and I didn't like it any better.
I was the smell of other people smoking them, but I never. I mean, I
don't like it. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's shocking to me that I have not gone back. I have no desire whatsoever to smoke, just none.
And you're almost down to no nicotine because you've been stepping down.
Yeah,
right?
I started with the 5 milligram of nicotine, and then I switched to 2.5.
Okay.
And I'm doing that now. So that's a lot less than... Anyway, yeah, so it's just working really, really well for me. And I like this because I still get the inhale and I love the exhale and seeing the exhale. I love
the
that.
vapor come out.
And I still have the exhale. In fact, wait, I'm going to do it right now. Look.
Yeah, he's doing it inside the house, which is also exciting.
Did you see how glamorous that was?
Of course I did.
So it's like the glamour of smoking without the stink and without the tar in my lungs. So yeah.
Oh, it's too bad we're not recording the video of this because I think people would really love that.
Yeah, so I'm I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm excited about that.
And I'm sure your mother is thrilled.
Oh, God, she could not be happier for sure.
And when you told me that you started to be aware of how much your car stank,
mm-hmm.
and how much your clothes stank, and how and I was just like, oh, your sense of smell is coming back. You're actually aware. I mean, food is gonna taste better. I swear, it's like this is what I'm waiting for Lionel. It's like you need to start work your juju on him because he wasn't into. Well, he tried the e-cigarette before, but he didn't like that.
Yeah,
either.
and it's weird because I've been using my mom's car for the last 5 days.
Right.
Because I used that car to, when I
to shuttle her back and forth
to the hospital
yeah.
initially, but then I've just been using that car, and I took mine to go over for lunch a little while ago.
Right.
And I hadn't been in my car for, 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's been shut up. And then going into my car, even though it's been, 6 weeks with no cigarette smoke in it, it still has that smell. It's not like it was, but I went into the car and I was like, oh my God.
it's gonna take, you're gonna have to get it detailed and have the carpet cleaned and...
Well, I remember when I moved here with furniture that had been in, that I've had for years. And and it's just I've always smoked in the house, always.
Right.
And I remember bringing the furniture here into this house that had never had cigarettes in it.
Yep.
My furniture stank. My room stank like cigarettes for 2 months.
Oh, yes. Of
Until
course it Like even
got
hardwood
out of
furniture
the
absorbs
refrigerator.
it.
Got out of the refrigerator. Got out of the furniture. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, very interesting.
It's
So that is
very
my
exciting.
grateful. I am grateful for vaping.
I'm grateful for vaping because you're the last person in the world. I mean, I hoped that someday you would quit smoking.
Yeah.
But you are the last person in the world that I ever thought would actually quit.
Oh, I know, because I was a hardcore devotee of the cigarettes.
I mean, you weren't just addicted to cigarettes. Cigarettes were your number one hobby. And your favorite, your most enjoyable pastime.
You, I love smoking. You know.
And that's, whenever you would be here, my husband would smoke 10 times more than normal because you're always, let's go smoke.
Oh, that's true.
Let's go outside and smoke. 110 degrees outside. Let's go smoke.
Oh, that's true.
Let's go sit outside and smoke.
Right, so let's go have a fumarantina.
A fumarantina. Exactly.
Which is not even a real word. That's a word that I made up, but it worked.
It's a good word.
Yes.
It is a damn fine word. It is. Oh my god.
Yes. Anyway, so that's my.
Oh yes.
The Bitchen Boutique.
Yes.
I think we need to give them a thing, Spike. We can give them a drop that they could play on their
Yes,
show.
I think we've got to find some time and get
I
time
think we
to
should
do
it
that.
right now. I think we should do it right now. Look, I'll show you how easy it is, Spike. Watch this. I'm just going to do it live.
Okay, do it live.
Like that bloke screams. I'm just going to do it live. Watch this. Hi, this is Dr. Dan from the Two Skeptical... I can't do it now. Look, I can't speak. Too much pressure. I'll try again. Take 52. Hi, this is Dr. Dan from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, and you are listening to the most bitchin' boutique. See? That was easy, wasn't it?
Okay.
They could send us one, we could play it as.
Yeah.
Right, you do it.
Yeah.
Right, off
What do you
go.
want me to say?
Whatever comes to mind.
Hi, this is Spike from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, who ain't no bitch, but you're listening to the Bitchen Boutique.
Oh, that was good. I hope they use that. Let's see if they cut it and put it in their next show.
Diplomatic community.
Oh my god.
So what is yours? What is your thankful for this year?
Oh, it's my turn. Oh my god. So, I had to warn Pitney ahead of time that I had to really organize my thoughts because, like I said earlier, I don't have the ability to focus right now. I will just sort of casually mention, I just had to have a bunch of blood drawn so that a lot of tests can be done. I even recently had a sleep study done, because something's wrong with my brain. And are you waiting for something?
I'm sorry,
That's okay.
My cousins. I just wanted to make sure nothing was here. Okay.
Oh, she's just texting?
It's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just having to look
problem.
every time my phone does anything.
I
have to
know.
look because
I know.
yeah.
But yeah, look, so my brain is functioning weirdly. I don't think I can call it narcoleptic. I have a bit of the narcosleepy. If I sit still for more than a couple minutes, if I'm not actively doing something that involves something physical, I will fall asleep. And that includes driving sometimes, which is terrifying as much time as I spend
See, that's not good.
going 80 or 90 miles an hour down a toll road to speed off to my father's house.
Yeah, that is not
I mean,
good.
I have not yet, but I catch myself oh crap, it could happen at every time. That's when I crank up the stereo and sing as loud as I can, and and move my and gesture wildly with my arms.
You gotta put on the Kiss Alive too,
No, I've got other things that I use. But because of that, I had to write down a lot of notes. So if I seem like I'm talking weird, I'm gonna try really hard to not sound like I'm, because I had to write
you're reading
notes.
from an outline.
Yeah,
Yes,
know, there is an outline in front of me. There's a lot of notes. I will be having to flip through. It's just, yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, okay. So my thing is, it's going to seem a little silly, but I am very serious about how much I love the thing that I will be talking about, how huge it is in my life, and how important it is to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that a lot of people listening, and I know Pitney is not someone who actually watches certain things on TV. Someday he will. But I hope a lot of you have at least watched WandaVision a couple of years back.
Yeah, I am a person that watches nothing.
Yeah. Well, you
Literally
watch
nothing
things you go back and watch all of Deep Space Nine or something rather than
yeah.
ever watch a new show.
Yeah, I literally watch nothing. So yeah.
No matter how much you are told, you will love it.
Oh, I know.
If I don't sit you down and tie you to a chair and make you watch something.
I know,
but
from
anyway.
you, by Trisha, by all
Yep,
sorts, but
absolutely.
anyway.
So, it's not WandaVision. WandaVision is not what I'm talking about. But even if people watched WandaVision, they should have an idea of what I'm about to talk about, and you would know at least that much information. But this year, the thing I am thankful for is that this year gave us the glory that is Agatha All Along. And I can hear some of you cheering from the future because that's how great it is. That's how much energy this show has generated in so many people.
Let me ask you though, it's on HBO, right?
No, it is not. It is on Disney Plus, along with all the other Marvel stuff.
Okay.
No, Our Flag Means Death was on. Well, it wasn't even on HBO. It was on Max.
On Max. Well,
Stupid
HBO
fucking
Max.
Max.
Yes.
Yes, but now it's just Max, and now there's nothing on Max. So fuck them. But anyway, So, this Agatha All Along is a show that literally has magical powers. Just in the show.
Yeah,
but,
awesome.
And even if you, listening person, even if you aren't, into the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think Agatha All Along is kind of self-contained enough that you could just dive in and watch it if you wanted to. But what is so great about what Marvel television is that the shows they make, they don't have to make any of them. They're not under a lot of pressure. Nobody was like, the world is clamoring for an Agatha Harkness TV series. She was a character on another show that was so weird that it's almost insane that it exists, and yet it is one of the greatest things ever produced for television. And she was just a character from that ended up with kind of being a big deal. So, and she's a very minor Marvel Comics character, like a witch that's a ghost that floats around in the background and sometimes advises people on.
Oh, see, I had no idea that.
Exactly.
I had no idea. I knew
know.
It was witchy. You told me it was witchy.
But that's not who she is. That's not who she is in this series. She's still a human, a very old human person.
Okay.
But I'll get to all that. But but that's the thing about these shows is because they don't need to make shows about these characters because these characters just in and of themselves, they don't require the world isn't dying to see them. But the shows will help expand the overall universe and move some stories along here and there and might introduce a character that shows up in a movie later or whatever. But really, these shows themselves can be truly, inspired, really unique and brilliant ideas that are brought to life by creative fucking geniuses. Mm-hmm. And in a year like we've had, a year where women were basically being shit on all over the place and we were treated like we were nothing more than political pawns and breeding machines. For a show like this to come along and give us all this beauty and depth and strength right before the stupid fucking election, call it kismet, call it, whatever you want. But it's fucking magic, magic with a goddamn K on the end, because it's that good. So Just for everyone who doesn't know, I will give the briefest explanation I can as to what the show is, because that'll help you understand why it's so exciting. So, I mean, and this is one of the reasons why I had to have notes, because I could go on for hours if I just riff. So.
Oh yeah, and we don't not.
All right, sip.
Don't
of
have
La
time
Croix.
for that.
Sip of La Croix to get me going. All right, so we have this witch, Agatha Harkness, who has been around since the Salem trial days. And she was insanely powerful, for reasons I won't go into, and had this terrible reputation as this evil bitch. And she, she's not a nice person. And she did battle with Wanda Maximoff at the end of WandaVision, the Scarlet Witch, who not only came into her own immense powers at that time, but took all of Agatha's powers away from her. And Wanda bound her in a very WandaVision kind of way that I won't even try to explain. Because if you don't know WandaVision, you cannot possibly understand how this show really starts.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but yeah.
There is no way to explain it briefly. So one day, this really cute little teenage gay boy, who is like a baby witch, he has been reading and studying and practicing his craft, and he's got his own agenda, but he snaps Agatha out of her weird, Scarlet Witch spell, and convinces her to go down the witch's road with him. And the witch's road is this myth that Agatha says isn't real, but he's like, bitch, I know you're lying. Come on, let's get us a coven and do this thing. And which, of course, means that we gather up some other witches from the area, because as the show ensures us, there are always witches around if you know how to find them.
That's true. I can attest to that for real life.
Within like any 2 to 3 mile radius, you can whip up a coven, because there's enough witches.
I can attest to that in real life. Yes.
No, all you got to do is know where to look. So they go out one day, bopping around town, and they grab up a divination witch and a potions witch and another one for protection, who happens to be working security at a Hot Topic at the mall.
Yeah, of course.
Which I know you would particularly love that. The Hot Topic witch. But long story short, we sing the ancient ballad, and ooh, look, a door opened in the floor, and let's go. And I sent Pitney the sacred chant as soon as it was available for me to do so.
Oh yeah, and I loved it. Oh yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Yeah. And
it is phenomenal. Yeah,
and I will say that what I was struck by, it was respectful, it was real.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Hollywood witchcraft bullshit. It was real pagan witchcraft. It was real.
Yeah.
It was obviously well researched, written by people that know what they're talking about. I was impressed. I was very impressed. Yeah.
And that's one of the nice things is that Marvel, because Marvel Comics is very, sparkly lightning coming out my fingers power and witchcraft, and things like telepathy or whatever. But in the show, it's like that exists as well. But that doesn't mean that a witch didn't have to learn her craft and have this huge amount of knowledge about the natural world and all this stuff in order to get to the point where she has sparkly powers, So, so the kid represents, any teenager out there who's, bought their first tarot deck and they bought some books and and they're reading up on things, and they hang out at the bookstore, and they're hoping to meet some people, and anyway.
I missed that.
I know it was such a long time ago for you. But now you're the old. Now you're the old dude who needs to be hanging out so that the young teenagers can ask you questions.
Oh God, I know. Sometimes I wonder how I feel about that sometimes. But there we go.
It's kind of like being the old guy at the club.
Yeah. Well, I'm that too.
Only less creepy.
I'm that too for like the whole twice a year that I go to the club, but you know.
Right, yes. So, okay. Again, I keep saying long story short, but it's impossible. Trust me, this is as short as I can make it. So they walk the road, and it's gorgeous and literally enchanting, and it's scary, and it's wonderful, and they all get, like, tested in their abilities and their knowledge, and over time, they, like, become like a real coven, because they protect each other and they work together, and and this a certain amount of like even though some of them are never gonna like each other, but they respect and love each other anyway. And it's the kind of shit that women on the whole, like, we all like automatically were sucked in because we understood everything they were saying. Like, even though it's on a witchy level, non-witchy people are going, yes, I have a weird relationship with my mother. Yes, sometimes, I feel like I'm really good at something, and then some guy says, no, you're not, and then suddenly I can't do my job anymore.
Yeah.
Because he affected me. And, it's like those kinds of things we all get, and they all have fears, and their stories are so familiar to us, and seeing women who are afraid that they can't cut it anymore, and then suddenly, boom, they solve this puzzle and they save their friends, and oh my God, it's absolute genius.
Yes, fabulous.
And it's also, by the way, queer as hell. Not just the little teen boy, but I mean, there's maybe, well, I wouldn't say any of the witches are definitely 100% straight. There was a great line. He's at, the boy is asking a lot of questions, and she's like, "Hey, want a straight answer? Ask a straight lady." That's one of my favorites.
That's fabulous.
But I'm not sure how I feel. Do I hate her, or do I want her phone number? Like, there's a lot of these kind of wonderful. It's like, oh, her too. Okay, But so the show automatically, appeals to the queer side as well.
Yeah.
And the Ballad of the Witch's Road, in all its various incarnations, just soothes your soul and raises you up and gives you literally whatever you need, just as the road is supposed to do. Yeah, and I don't want to say...
Again, I'm going to say it is fucking real, and I'm going to use it in a ritual, because it's
I hope
real.
so, because it's so... Yeah. But I do want you to
say that again, yes.
But I do want you to watch the show so that you understand what you're getting, what you're using. Yeah. But I won't say anything else about the show specifically, except to say that the timing of it arrived. I mean, like, if it had been 6 months ago, it would have felt very different. It arrived, like, right when we all needed it, and I am not the only woman who feels this way.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
And that's kind of the end of my thankful, but I'm not going to stop talking yet, because it's going to lead into the other thing. Like I mentioned earlier, that we have another thing. So let me explain this other idea. So Agatha All Along inspired an idea.
1 second, because hold on.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry, hold on.
And I'm Amber, and we're Witches Talking Tarot.
And we're bringing you all things occult.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, twice a week for your magical pleasure.
Join us as we dive into aliens,
cryptids, the Illuminati,
super in the natural.
Because that's the kind of witches we are. So join these high energy witches twice a week. Come sit a spell and see why we'll be your favorites.
So anyway.
And we're back. Of course, we couldn't get through it without Pitney having to field a phone call.
Yes.
It's fine. Okay, so... Oh, and take two.
Okay.
So, where was I? Okay, so the fabulous thing is that Agatha All Along inspired an idea that at first I was just wanting it to be like me, like something I was going to do for myself. Because my novice secular witchy side has been ignored for a while, and Agatha made it all tingly. But then I noticed that right after the election that there were all these women online who not only woke up at 3 a.m. on the dot on November 6th, just like I did, but who felt compelled to post about it. And so, like, one by one, we all realized, oh my God, something's going on. Like some weird energy crossed the country and woke a bunch of us up, you know? And then there were a bunch who never went to sleep that night because they were, you know, in a fit. But so we were all like having this witchy itch, and even women who seem like they've never done anything witchier than like listen to Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
They're out there like, is it weird that I feel like I want to be in a coven? And that got me thinking, you know. One thing that was pushing me to make some changes was that, like, I knew, especially as a white woman of a certain age, that I needed to use my privilege to actively make things better. To protect those who need protection, to support those who need support, and to use my talents and abilities for good.
Amen.
And then I realized that was, in some ways, kind of witchy as fuck, and that I didn't need to do it alone. And I will say, back to the show for 1 second, in Agatha All Along, one of the witches is the daughter of a 70s rock star who had a huge hit with a pop rock cover of The Ballad of the Witch's Road.
Oh,
and
okay.
she called her fans, her audience, she called them her coven.
Oh, okay.
And I won't go deeper into that specifically right now because, you know, spoilers, but I will say that it's one of the most powerful and beautiful stories that I've ever seen, and it always makes me cry. So, like, Lorna Wu, this witch, had this coven that stretched all over the world, and they were connected by her music. And she had this platform that she used to raise energy, like on a global level. And we aren't rock stars or anything.
Well, in our own minds we are.
But we are pretty fabulous, and we do have a platform. It's little, but it's strong. So, you know,
we don't have many fans, but the ones we have are devoted.
They're fucking devoted, and they love us, and
that's a good thing.
And I think they're feeling, you know, the same, similar to how we've been feeling in the last couple weeks, and so hopefully this will click with them too, and hopefully this idea has brought in some new people, and y'all will jump on board, and this will be anyway. So, but you don't even know what it is yet. So I consulted with my bestie here, you know, who actually, for those of you who don't know, is, you know, a witch. Yes, about whether it was feasible to create like a virtual online coven, and that's something that's secular, so we're not pushing any religious viewpoint on anybody to make sure that nobody feels like we're trying to get in their heads or whatever. But as a practical, useful thing that's supportive and protective and can make a difference in the world. And you agreed that was a thing we could actually do. And you had kind of, I mean, not a coven thing, but because you had started a thing that kind of fell apart for reasons that were not your fault. An online instructional, thing.
I wish, yeah, and that was a bummer. But I tried. So anyway.
But when you were doing test runs and things with people, you were able to, even though you weren't in the same room, like you were used to having people all in a room together.
Yeah.
And doing things together, but you could do things virtually, and you felt like it really was working.
Yeah, it was interesting because me and two friends that I helped organize this endeavor with, before we started holding, events, as it were, classes, we did exercises together to see if we could raise energy together and if we could feel it. And we did, and we could feel it, and it was palpable, and it worked.
Right. And I'm,
so yeah.
And there's a lot that
definitely worked.
Yeah, and there's a lot that you and I still have to discuss about what specifically this is going to be. But hopefully some of that will work into what we're doing. But anyway, so like bottom line for you guys out there, what I'm talking about is a kind of casual and fun, but also inspiration and work. And you'll do whatever feels comfortable to you and what feels right, because you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. So like if you don't want to do something, don't feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Because that's not, in the long run, you do what you need to do. But we will be a coven that promotes protection of yourself and others, community as a supportive group, but also seeing ourselves, our individual selves, as part of larger communities who need us. In, like, say, a social justice sense.
And I was just going to say, with a focus on social justice.
Yes. Ultimately, that's what, because witches are political.
Yes, social justice, basically to fight this asshole who's going to be the president and everybody that he's hiring. Basically, social justice to fight
any bad shit that comes down, we're gonna shove it back at them, and that each of us will, through this, we're all gonna discover our own power and learn to use it in ways that will make the world around us a better place. And by us all being the awesome people that we are, we will defeat the evil bastards.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. And I want to say, too, it's not just going to be like hoity-toity woo-woo. We're going to talk about organizations you can get involved with, you can volunteer with, you can donate money to. It's going to be structured, loosely structured, based on the wheel of the year, which we'll go into later when we talk about more like that. But in a social justice sort of way, introducing different organizations and somewhat that you can spend your time and or money or both in whatever cause you feel called to do. We're going to introduce you to women's rights, gay rights, immigrants' rights, orphans' rights, etc., and you do what you want, what you're drawn to do.
Right, because you're going to figure out where first what your strengths are if you haven't figured them out yet, and you're going to figure out, because we're going to kind of talk about looking at what you can do, but looking at it in a different way, and things that things I didn't think were marketable skills but turned out to be what I do every day in my job. It's like just things that make me better at certain things than other people, because I just come at it from a different angle, and that's where a lot of my power is. But when in the long run, it's like everybody's going to figure out where they can best serve and how they can best serve.
Yes.
And we're all going to be inspired by what each other is doing.
Yep.
Because we're working it out, but we're going to figure out ways to meet fairly regularly and talk to each other.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it.
We've never done anything like this, but we know we can. So
Yeah,
I'm very
we
excited about
need
it.
to fight
Yeah.
this fucker that is going to call himself the president.
And it's
Yes.
on a lot of levels. It's, it's anything from convince, where best to use your own energy. Like, not wasting your energy on people who are not gonna change their mind about you. People who aren't going to change their mind about the shit that's going on. It's like, then I'm going to walk away from you and I'm going to talk to these people over here because I can do something with them. Because we've all spent way too much time arguing with people and talking to people who are just assholes.
Yeah, but I do want to say one thing about that. In that, I decided for what I'm just immediately going to start doing, and I have started doing it. I'm not going to let... let me say, it's really, really frightening to me that T-Rump won the fucking popular vote. That is so horrifying to me.
Yeah.
And the world changed for me the day after the election. I consciously no longer felt as safe as I did.
Right.
I consciously no longer felt as secure as I did as an out, pagan, gay, all
freak.
These things that I am. Yeah. And I decided I'm gonna let my fucking freak flag fly higher and as high as I fucking want, because I'm not gonna let these fuckers think that they won being scared. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I can say, I'm gonna toot my own horn here for a minute, everybody loves me.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody that does not like... Well, one person, I can think of one person that I had that was my boss in the accounting office who was a homophobe and he hated me.
Yeah, but you were never going to win that guy over.
Everybody loves me.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody. And I've made friends, like, especially at, like, the Kerrville Folk Festival. I've made friends with hardcore conservative Republican, blah, blah, blah. And they love me. And you know why they love me? Because I am me and I'm authentic and I'm myself.
Right. Yes.
And they see that I'm kind and I'm loving and they see through the Nelliness, or that I might wear weird clothes or weird t-shirts, or...
Right.
That I might have a weird color hair, which I don't anymore because I don't have hair anymore, but...
You might have a weird colored beard.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But they see through that and they see me, and just that, I've seen that change people's minds.
Right.
So we cannot be afraid. We just need to let our flags fly a little bit higher, but in an authentic way.
Absolutely.
And in a fearless way, and just be ourselves and be kind and loving, and that will win people and make them be like, oh my God.
Yeah, being yourself and protecting yourself by standing your ground.
Yeah.
And if you're dreading, I'll just say Thanksgiving because it's that time of year, and we all know, now granted, I am not going home for Thanksgiving, but not for that reason, because I have an unruly dog that I can't leave or take anywhere.
Oh, Pepito.
He's an angel, but he's like an 80 now, and like an 80-pound.
Oh, he's a petite little baby boy.
He's a runaway train. He's amazing, and I love him. But my God, we're working very hard with him. We're learning a lot of skills about dog training, and it's marginally, a little bit at a time, incrementally getting better. But anyway,
Yes.
But if I was, let's say, if I was in a position where the entire family would be getting together, like converging on my dad's house, and that included the valedictorian's husband.
Oh, I know what. Yes, I was gonna say I know where we're going. Yeah. That asshole.
It ain't my house. I don't get to say who's there, but there's a part of me that would have looked forward to being like saying hi to everyone but him.
Yeah.
And if he said something to me, I would like hold my finger up and be like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, fabulous.
Nope. Not this
I
year.
can just be like,
Not
"You're an
anymore.
asshole."
Not anymore. You know why. And honestly, the fact that the valedictorian didn't divorce him a long time ago, I have no idea. But,
Well,
I
I was actually thinking about the valedictorian the other day.
You were.
I don't know. I was thinking of the time where I went to go visit your mom at the hospital. And she was there.
Yeah.
And we
That
were
was
both...
when Mom had pneumonia.
Yeah, and we were both so shocked because she just got up and rushed across the room and gave me a big hug.
That was so fucking weird.
And I remember both of us were like, what the fuck? Is this the same person that used to be, like, afraid to even say hello to me?
The one who didn't like you playing with her son because she thought you were going to turn him gay or give him AIDS or something?
Yeah.
That
yeah,
one?
Yeah.
That
sister?
one.
Yeah, that one.
Fuck.
But again,
Yeah.
like I said, everybody loves me and I change people's minds.
Yeah.
Just by being myself.
Yeah.
And you can too.
Mm-hmm. And you also, but in the meantime, you don't have to waste your shit on people who would ruin your life by casting a vote for a fucking criminal. And you have and even if it might be a little hard to say, yeah, I'm not coming to Thanksgiving or whatever, don't go. Just don't go.
Yeah.
Stay home and play with your cat. Whatever.
Yeah, don't fucking go. You know, speaking of,
hang out with friends who love you and who all voted correctly.
I miss having my big Thanksgivings that I used to have.
Oh my God.
But I don't know what's going to happen now this year because me and Mom.
Your mom needs to take it easy.
We made fancy reservations.
Oh, that's right. You were going to go out.
We were going to go out for this big thing, this Thanksgiving for fancy.
She might be up to it by then.
I hope so, because I was really looking forward to that, but we'll see what happens.
But the thing is, I mean, she'll be like, she will have been, she's probably getting out of the hospital Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Tuesday probably,
so.
Wednesday if they feel like they need to watch her a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but that's still a week.
It's not going to be Tuesday, it might be Wednesday.
But if she doesn't push herself, which is there's the wild card.
Oh, I'm gonna have the come to Jesus meeting. It's gonna be like that. You are gonna sit in this fucking chair and watch TV, and you are not.
Because do you want to have a nice Thanksgiving?
Work.
Then you have to take care of yourself between now and then.
You're not.
We do that to my dad.
Scrubbing the stove so the housekeepers don't think you're dirty.
Oh my God.
You're gonna stay and watch fucking television, and you're gonna chill.
Sit and watch Yellowstone.
Yep. And by the way, here's a Xanax.
You know we threatened my dad when Dad wouldn't stop falling down, and Dad kept he kept fracturing his spine, people.
I remember that.
Because he wouldn't stop falling down.
Stay put. I know.
And it was things like, at 10:30 at night, he was getting up to walk into the kitchen, and he looked down and he saw where the little scale, like the old bathroom scale, had been, because that's where Mom used to weigh herself so she could hold on to that one counter.
Oh, yeah.
Over in that corner. And he just decided, I wonder what I weigh. At 10:30 at night, he's the only one in the house. No one's been with him for hours.
And he falls.
And he thinks he's going to bend down and scoot that scale out. He falls over. He can't get himself back up.
God bless him. God
he has to crawl over and knock the phone off the table and call luckily the geriatric nurse who lives next door. I mean, so we had to tell him, we had to put signs up in the house to remind him when we weren't there. You are not allowed to fall down anymore. You need to stop being dumb. Because the nephew was getting married. And he was going to have the wedding in Dad's backyard. And it's like, we're going to have to cancel the wedding.
I remember.
Because you won't stop being stupid and falling on your ass.
I remember.
And he never fell down again.
That's good. And I remember I was frustrated one time. And I was like, Mom, why can't you just be normal and just sit in front of the television and watch Law and Order reruns all day?
Like a normal American. Like the rest of us.
Like a normal old lady. God damn it.
Just sit there and think dirty thoughts about Jerry Orbach like the rest of us.
God damn it. Anyway.
Damn it. Anyway. But yeah, so we'll go into more detail later about the Coven thing. Like just after Christmas.
I'm actually very excited,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry. I've been meaning to put more energy into the planning of it.
Oh my God, we haven't had time, but we have a month.
But obviously, I have a lot on my plate right now. But I do have a lot percolating in my mind about it, and
and I have a doctor's appointment this week that might tell me I'm in menopause, or I need to go on even more medication that I'm on, or maybe who knows? We don't know. We don't know. But just after Christmas, we have an episode that coincides beautifully with Yule, which is perfect for kicking off the year of something, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll have a name by then.
Yes, and it's going to be fabulous.
Yes,
just
the
like
year
us.
of whatever. If anybody, new listeners, because I'm really hoping some new listeners. So this year is the year of us, because we're celebrating 40 years of friendship.
Yeah.
Last year we didn't have a theme. Before that we had the year of the saints, where every episode I profiled a Catholic saint.
Yep.
or a couple, depending on, what kind of theme I had going. We had the year of woo woo. Where we talked about star seeds and like 5G
and God, did we make fun of people, and it was fabulous.
It was great. I confessed to when I nearly got really, really sucked up into that twin flame nonsense. Because I was deeply in depression, and that's what they want, is depressed and lonely people.
Yeah, but I still fantasize about going on a beach, taking all my clothes off and
sunning your asshole
and sticking my ass up in the air to get the perineum.
Yeah, that was how we kicked off the year.
I
It was so
fantasize
great
about that.
We talked about people who sun their assholes. That was how we started that year. It was so great. And it all was inspired by the year of the vagina back in 2019, where I just, in late 2018, I was like, I lost my shit, and I was like, oh my God, women need to stop sticking jade eggs and stuff in their vaginas. Yes. They're doing more harm than good, and they don't understand how their bits work. And I just, every episode talking about vaginas.
It was vaginistic.
On that note,
I just made up that word. I like that. That's a good word. I just made that up. That's a good word. Vaginistic.
So hey, happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much, or eat as much as you want. Don't make yourself throw up, because that's gross.
Yeah, and if you have a relative that's a Trump voter, look at them at the dinner table in front of everybody else and just say, "You asshole."
No mashed potatoes for you, Joyce.
Anyway, bye. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy our show, please take a moment to rate and review us wherever you listen.
If you send us a screenshot of your review, we'll send you a Bitchen Boutique sticker. Everyone loves stickers.
Please subscribe or add us to your favorites wherever you get your podcasts.
Subscribers get new episodes first and are also more attractive.
Drop us a line anytime at PitneyAndAmelia@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. Just sit there and think dirty thoughts about Jerry Orbach like the rest of us.